Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'll be speaking to a very dear close friend of mine who is a certified John Maxwell coach, trainer and speaker. You'll find this really helpful, especially if you want to take your life to the next step. Now my guest will be offering a free intake coaching session, so stay watching till the end. You can email my guest and she'll pick the best response or the best email and she will get back to you with that free offer. Any of the books that you see will be linked below, and also my guest's webpage and where she works, it'll all be listed below. So sit back, relax and really listen to it, because she has helped me in my journey and I'm sure she can help you. Enjoy. Today I'm going to be talking with a very close dear friend of mine who has helped me along the way with my personal development. She has helped me within the last 8 months to a year find a new job. That I've been with the old job that I've been there for 11 and a half years. I've started losing weight, so I'm on that journey, and most importantly started this YouTube channel. Please welcome Nancy Assad.
Hey.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good. How you doing on this beautiful sunny day in Sydney?
Yeah, well, it's been a great weekend. We've been a little busy at my place, but we currently have just finished today's last day of the Silva Method 4-day program, which I will talk to you about later. But
nice.
Yeah, we've had a really busy week, but great.
Now, pardon me if I look down on my notes, but Nancy, you are a certified John Maxwell speaker, trainer and coach.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.
And you are working with Janine Sharka, is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself, and if I did stuff up somewhere along the line, correct me?
No, you didn't stuff
This is
up.
a very casual interview, so there can be, a few stuff ups and that, but yeah.
No, well, I wasn't always a speaker, trainer, coach. So I started off my career as interior designer, and I studied at Sydney Uni with that.
Mm-hmm.
And, got married, went through the whole thing of life, had kids, and then about 3 years ago I decided, okay, the kids are well settled, it's time to get back into work mode again.
Mm-hmm.
And off I went to try and get into the industry, and I failed badly. And along with me failing, I started to lose hope. I was very unmotivated. Self-confidence was way down, and I questioned myself. And the first time in how many years I questioned, am I in the right field? Am I doing the right thing? Is this what it's meant for me?
Because I remember you jumping from job to job. Like I remember you, the interior decorator, and then I remember you doing some massage thing, and then I remember you doing some nail stuff like that.
I did beauty for a while when my youngest.
And here I am, I'm trying to follow Nancy and do with her work. And I thought, okay, the interior decorator I could use it, the massage I could use it, but the nail polish and stuff.
Nails is good.
I think we drew the line there at that nail. So sorry, go on, So I really did. I was at a standstill in my life, and I questioned where I was going, what I wanted to do. And it was at that time that I discovered a video from Wayne Dyer, and I love Wayne Dyer. That spoke to me in volumes. Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you settling for this just as it is? And I thought to myself, dear God, I know I was meant for something better than this. And at that stage, I didn't know, but I was really asking the universe for some help here. Yes.
And I put it out there, and within 4 months, I had met Janine, which is a whole nother story, through my husband. And I remember saying to him, I would so love to do what she does. And here I am working alongside of her today. And if it wasn't for her sponsoring me, to go to the John Maxwell team, I wouldn't be doing what I so love today. And I really, really can tell you that I found my calling.
I can tell you, you're absolutely amazing at what you do.
Thank you.
And this is living proof. A journey on its way. I'm getting there.
You certainly are.
No, you absolutely. I think you definitely have nailed it with this one, Nance, because you are very patient. You listen. You help. I can tell you're absolutely you do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So.
It's being passionate. I think if you love what you do, you'll never have to work another day in your life, and I really believe that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what is next to you? You just got certified for something else, didn't you, as well?
Well, no, I've done a few courses. So the first thing I did after I met Janine is I did the Silva method, which is Silva, and the link is below for anyone who's interested in doing it, because that really changed my life.
I will leave a whole lot of links below, by the way, because Nancy's going to give us a few bits and pieces of information. Plus, you've got your own blog.
I have my own website. That is for coaching and masterminds, and
highly recommend.
I've got my blog on there as well, but that's all below. So the Silva method is a dynamic meditation program, and basically change and rewire your brain, because we all have our ways, don't we? We're all set in our ways. And what we don't know is that every day, in every way, we are setting ourselves up for whatever it is next. So if I'm having negative thoughts and I'm thinking really, really bad things, the outcome is going to be that.
You're going to set yourself up for failure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the Silva method helps us through visualization and guided imagery, and we really reprogram our subconscious mind, which is so important for any of us to change the way, our future can be.
Yes, 100%.
So a lot of visualization. So I did the course, it was 4 days. I changed my life completely. I have suffered from rheumatoid arthritis since I was 21, and it became so bad that I was on extreme medication. So very, very high drugs.
I remember that.
And I thought to myself, I'm going to take this opportunity to get myself off this medication. And I did. And it took me 6 months through visualization. And I did it every day, twice a day, for 6 months. I didn't notice any change until about the 4-month mark. But I persisted. And I'm happy to say I'm drug-free today.
Yay.
And the doctors keep thinking, oh yeah, she's, you're doing really well, your bloods are so good, and they didn't realise that.
Because initially you didn't tell them you got off.
No, I didn't.
And so they thought, here you were, you were taking your meds, it was working, and
then when I did tell them, they just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, after working with you, I had a similar thing. Where I had like a sore tummy and all that, and
yes, I
remember we were going through the stuff and all that, and within one month it was gone.
Yeah.
And what you taught me was, the affirmations are very, very important, but you've got to have visualization
and the emotion.
And if you don't tie all those together, it's nowhere near as effective. It's good, but nowhere near as effective.
Absolutely.
Visualize
with emotion and always come out with that feeling that, yes, this is how I want to feel when I'm not in pain.
Yes, and it absolutely works, 100%. So was there, I know you did a brief introduction, if you could just briefly tell us, what was that point, that something that made you want to do this? I know you mentioned it very briefly before, but was there something in your life that just changed you? That
I just couldn't get my career going. Actually, there's a saying that when the doors are always closing, there's a reason, and the doors were always closing.
Yeah.
For me, I started doing staging, in homes. Door closed on that. I thought about opening my own business, having a bricks and mortar shop, where people physically can go in and purchase stuff, and I can have an interior design consultancy. All these and the doors were just closing, and then I just stopped and I thought, I became really miserable, and obviously self-doubt was just creeping in, and with that I started to really get depressed, because I thought, this is impossible, I can't continue on in this career, there must be something going on. And I hit rock bottom, and I can honestly say for the first time when I hit rock bottom, I could admit it now, but back then I couldn't see that.
No.
And it was such a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
I really learned that it's okay. You know, when you hit rock bottom, it's okay, because the only way you can go is up.
That's right. It's the only way. You know, so many stories I hear of people hitting rock bottom before they change their life. But, you know, if you get in touch with Nancy, before you hit that rock bottom, you can go straight up. It's unbelievable. It's good. We're not going to go on too long about things, because I just want to make it very, very brief. If you want to have your coffee, you can.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Have your coffee.
Your wife makes a great coffee.
I know. Do
Thanks,
I need to pick this up? And I know you've read a lot of books. You read a lot of books all the time.
I do.
And you're going to share some with us.
I'm going to share some of those, only because, you know, Bill Gates reads something like 60 books a year, I think.
Wow.
And he's amazing. There's no way I could do that.
No.
I don't have enough time. At the moment, I'm reading a totally, but I will start off with one of the first books. I know I read about 4 to 5 books a year at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I read a lot. Some of them I read double, because we do masterminds at work, and that is just basically a deep dive into a book that we're reading, and we uncover lots of things from it, not just for ourselves personally, but we are in a collective group, so we're all doing it together, and we're all taking ideas off each other, and which is a fantastic way to dissect a book, right?
Exactly.
So the first one is Living in the Flow. So my colleague wrote that, Janine, and not that she's just my colleague, but it is an amazing book, and the reason why it's amazing is because it's an all-rounder. It's for beginners.
And someone gave me that for Christmas. I won't not mentioning any names.
It's also good for someone who's in their spiritual journey, like deep in it, because it's a book that you can relate to, and at the end of every chapter, you get some tips on how to implement what you've learnt in that chapter into your life. So it's almost like a textbook and a reading book in one. So I found that really helped me a lot, and
Perfect.
I was really privileged to be there along her, with her while she wrote the book. So we'll have those down below as well.
Yep.
The second one is The Untethered Soul. He's on the best-selling list in New York, Times. So it is also a beginner's book. Helps with transforming and discovering yourself, and it helps you to free yourself of the habitual thoughts and the emotions that limit you. And this book is a real eye-opener. I can say to you that I looked and I started to dissect how I was thinking while I was reading it, and I stopped some of the habits midway through the book.
Wow.
I caught myself with an awareness that some of the things I was doing, such as the voice in your head. I don't know if anyone else has this, but I used to have a voice in my head that used to talk back to me.
I think we all have that voice in our head.
And it says, who do you think you are? You can't do this. Or what are you going on about? Or then, you know how you're in a scenario with someone and you're talking to them and you think, you go back and think, I could have said this. Or what if I had said that? This is the book that tells you you've got to kick that
thought out.
You got to kick that person out of your head.
Yeah.
Vacate.
Because that voice is the one that keeps telling you the negative things.
Absolutely.
And if you listen to that, you'll get nowhere.
So that's the other one.
Brilliant.
Leadership. I'm heavily into leadership at the moment. With we do a lot of masterminds. So with the John Maxwell team, it's called Developing the Leader Within You. So if you've just started your leadership journey, this is a great book. And John Maxwell says that when people ask him, what is the best book I should read and start off with in your... Because he's done 80 plus books. He says this is the one.
Wow.
This is the first book you should read. And it is the foundational lessons for beginners, for being a good leader is in this book. So Excellent. That's that one. And one of my favourites, Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, yes.
This one here it's a great personal development book.
Yes.
You can, to begin with, or even if you're on your journey of personal development, creates financial and personal success. And if you apply what's in the book, yes, you will get the success that you require. But again, it's a book. Look, if you have a look at my book, it's very old. It's a textbook. I underline all parts of it. And because I dissect the book.
Yes.
And take what I want out of it. Because there's a lot of little key good gold nuggets in there that you can really learn from.
You can read that book over and over again.
I've read this 3 times, and probably this year I'll be reading it again.
And that teaches you how to make that is it life statement?
Yes, the one that we spoke about.
Yeah.
Well, the I Am So Happy and Grateful Now is not from the book, but there are bits of it from the book.
Okay.
So, yeah, gratitude in advance. So
Perfect.
So that's that one.
Highly recommend the book.
Yes, I do too. This one I am currently reading. Now, it's totally off the charts.
Wow.
It's called Autobiography of a Yogi. This is a very, it's one of the best spiritual books of the 20th century.
Wow.
And I started this book last year and got to page 88 and dropped the book and thought, no, I'm not ready for this because it's so out there.
Okay.
And if you're not ready to hear some of the stories, because it completely opened my eyes, you will probably not embrace the book. So this year, in the holidays in January, I picked it up and I've only got just a tiny bit left, as you can see, and I can tell you, this is one of the most amazing books I've read. Everything that I knew and I thought I knew about spirituality has gone right out the door. And after reading this,
isn't it funny that you read it in the beginning, you couldn't,
yeah,
and now
because I was ready to read it.
Yeah, and now after reading all these and your journey,
yeah,
you can now understand and go back and appreciate. And
it really changed my eyes as to how I see the world.
Wow.
So
there you go.
And this is my next book. I thought I'd share it with you. It's called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. As you can see, it is 24 pages long.
Wow.
And
that's the one that I've signed up to do the...
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. So we're doing a mastermind on this one.
I saw it and I clicked on it. I think I was one of the first ones. And Janine sent me a thank you email.
Oh, okay, yes. So this one here is 90% plus of all personal development books are based on this little novel. So Excellent. That is the next book I'm reading.
If you had to tell the guys at home one of these books or another book start off, what would be your
It just
number
really
one?
depends, because these are all different stages of where I was at.
Let's say they're just starting off. They have no idea where they're going. They're at that stage where the doors are closing.
Yep.
Like where I was, where you were.
Yep. I would say probably
recommend?
these first two books that I started off with. So those two.
Okay.
This one here looks at everything.
Okay.
So, you won't have an issue with reading it because you'll relate to it because it's every part of your life. Do you know what I mean? And this here helps you have an awareness as to what's really going on because you are looking at discovering and transforming yourself. I mean, both are, but this is a great little, and it's only, look how thin they are. This you can read in 4 hours on a weekend.
Perfect. We'll leave a link for all these books, so if you are interested,
100%.
you can click on the link below and purchase it, or as again, you can go to Nancy's webpage, and I'm sure she mentions it somewhere in there or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I've got some stuff there that you can flicker through.
With all that's gone on and how your journey now and so forth, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because you never stop learning.
Absolutely not. So when we read these, so I've got this thing that, I mean, everybody that I know that have said it to me in the past, knowledge without application is really nothing. So I do a lot of reading, but if I don't apply it, I'm not really learning. I haven't learned. So when I tell you that my books are like textbooks, I dissect what I need to, what I need to take out of them, and then I work with what it says and I analyze it and I try and apply that in my life, because if you don't, you really are just reading another book. And have you heard of shiny object syndrome?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. A lot of people take courses, read books, and they don't learn anything from it. Whereas I like to read my book and...
For all those people who don't know about the shiny, can you really briefly...
Well, it's taking, for example, reading many books, and every time someone says to me, oh, you got to read this book, I always ask them, why do I need to read the book? What did you get out of it? What did you learn from it? Instead of just reading every book out there that's on the New York Times best-selling list, or reading any book that anyone tells you, finish what you got. Like at the moment with the John Maxwell team, for instance, we have got a university, an online university, and we've got so many courses that we can go through to make our learning experience a whole lot more exciting. We can add to everybody else and add value to others through that. But if I just kept taking the courses and not focus, so I'm a coach. I've been a coach for nearly a year now. Yeah, in March.
That's a long time.
geez,
in a way.
In a way.
Yeah.
But if I just thought, okay, I've done coaching for a year, I'm going to try something else, I think I would do a disservice to myself and everybody else out there.
So what you're saying is basically do what you're doing, complete it, then move on.
That's right.
Don't get distracted like halfway through the book, say, look at that. That shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Look at that. Get distracted by that and so forth. Excellent. I noticed you've got a couple of badges on.
That's...
Can you just give us a little brief rundown on that?
Well, that's the John Maxwell team. That gives recognition around the world.
I'll just tell you something very briefly. Before we started, Nancy was going around, where's my badges? Where's my badges? I need to put my badges on. I'm going, okay.
So this is kind of like a worldwide recognition being in the John Maxwell team.
Nice.
And the JMT DNA, we speak about that at the John Maxwell team because it takes a certain person to really want to be part of the John Maxwell team. And we say people of value adding value to others. Yeah. And that is what we do. I love adding value to others. For me, when I started coaching you, I thought, when I watched you from day one to whenever we finished, the growth and the transition and what you'd learned, that for me just fills my heart with so much joy. And that's like adding value. And then you in turn go out and add value by doing this wonderful YouTube.
A lot of coffees there we had, and and we were like, she's asking me, I want to start my diet, but we would buy each other a cake and say, okay, next time we won't buy each other a cake, but every time we met up,
to say that.
we would have a cake along with the I'm losing weight kind of thing. Is there anything, one tip, one thing that you would give these listeners? If you had to give them one tip.
I think just what are you doing every day to grow?
Because everyone has, and I tell you, everyone has that voice, that burning thing, that desire that you say, I can do better. Yes. I know that what I'm doing, is not what I want to do. I want to do something much better. And that's, sorry I interrupted, but that's how I felt. I was just going through my jobs, I was going through all this thing, and I'm going, no, there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be the next step. I've got to find something different. Yeah. And that's where we started. Like Nancy and I go back a long way, but that's where I heard about you doing this thing, and that's where we got in contact. And actually, you actually came to me.
I did.
You offered your services.
I offered my services, so coaching.
Yeah. Which
you can find the link down below. I think when you know that you're not comfortable in what you're doing, you know that you're not passionate about it, and you've got to find your purpose. And everyone does have a purpose. I know it's cliche, right? Yeah. But unless you love what you're doing, really love it with a passion, you will never be happy. No. It won't excite you. No. You need to be getting up, going out, every day and jumping out of bed and saying, hey, I really love what I do. I'm so excited to go in and do it.
Don't think about the money side of things. And this is with the YouTube thing that I'm doing at the moment. When I first started, and I still do it, I scroll through and I see how many views and all that. And sure, there might be a lot at the moment, but people that I've spoken to and so forth, they've said to me, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the monetization. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the things like that. If you love it, it's your passion, do that, make that first, and then the rest will come. Yeah, the money will come. The money 100%. Will come. So, again, if you had to give one tip.
So my one tip would be is to make sure what are you doing each day to grow. And when I mean it's developed. You can't just, all right, I'm grown now. It doesn't work that way. No. So for me, every day it could be meditation, because meditation is really important. I mean, to silence your mind every morning and focus on what you want to do is hard enough. But, if you could have a practice every morning where you get up, you either write down what you're let me start again, what you're grateful for. Yeah. And that sets the tone for the day because, you're already in the gratitude mode. Yeah. Meditate. If you like to exercise, go for a walk. That's fantastic. But what are you doing to grow yourself? So YouTube videos, podcasts, reading books, going out, taking a mastermind course and really expanding your horizons, getting a coach, because accountability is so important.
I was just going to say, get in contact with Nancy. That would be my first step.
is pretty important to keep you accountable. And a lot of people say, oh, but I've got my wife or my partner or, that's okay. But how many times can you say that your partner is going to be really brutally honest with you and you can be really brutally honest with them? Yeah. It's good to get an outside perspective, and a coach will keep you accountable.
Definitely. And that's what we did. We would have our meeting, and then at the end of the meeting you'd say, okay, we're going to do this, this and this.
Yeah.
And the next
actually,
time...
it's what are you going to do?
Yeah. Exactly. And I would then come back the next week and say, look, I've done this,
what have
this.
you done?
And then Nancy say, okay, what about this? You said you're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then it would push me to want to do that for the next week,
Absolutely.
So that's really great. One of my first things I said, I'd get in contact with Nancy. And that leads me on to the last thing is just briefly about your webpage.
Yep.
There will be links below. What can they find on there?
So it's a really brief, very simple web page.
Yeah.
It's sohoglobal.com.au, and I've had that forever, so I'm going to roll with that. But on there you will find coaching and masterminds. I suppose it's more for one-on-one and also in these little group sessions, because learning one-on-one, with coaching is fantastic for all areas of your life. And can I just say that you don't have to be a CEO or someone who's in a very high corporate position. I coach a lot of mums.
Yeah.
Okay, and because everybody's a leader, because you're always influencing.
Yeah.
So mums are definitely leaders because they've got little ones that they're always influencing. They've got probably one of the hardest jobs because these little minds need a lot of good influencing. So you don't have to be a CEO. So just want to make that clear. So we've got the coaching side of it, and then we've got the mastermind side of it, which is anyone can join the mastermind. We've had children in the mastermind.
Wow. And
we are going to do several. We have several coming up. So at the moment we've got As a Man Thinketh, which is this one here. We're starting that, and that's on the 21st of April. And that runs for 6 weeks. And we've also got Sometimes You Win and Sometimes You Learn for Teens. That's a John Maxwell book. And that is for anyone that has any teenagers, 12 to 18. And we'll be studying the book. And that is a great book. Really it is, on how you can adapt. It's not always about winning. It's about what you learn from your loss. And that happens all throughout life.
And can I just, on a final note, your coaching is not just how to improve and get money. It's about anything, your life, getting 100%. Better, with life, where it will lead to more money if you want money, or if you want to lose weight, you want to lose weight, or if you want to change your job. So it's just not, as Nancy was saying, you don't have to be a CEO or whatever a company and to make it, to the top or get more money.
Yeah.
It can be just on everyday things where you want to improve on something, so they can help you and they will help you. Okay. I think what we're going to do is, because we could go on forever, we could sit here.
We could talk forever.
Was there anything else you wanted to say?
I just want to say, I know you said to me about where you see yourself in 5 years' time. I am expanding.
Because Nancy was probably thinking about that. She's that thinker.
I was thinking about that. What I really, really do hope to achieve is to work more with kids and parents. As a mother of 4 myself, the youngest almost 7, the eldest is 24. I have a better connection with my kids now than I think I've ever had because of my knowledge of what I've learned. And my area of focus is going towards that direction. And I think because it's a crucial that we teach these young ones, for the survival of our planet. Definitely. Because, the way things are going, we need great leaders. We need people that, kids that become wonderful leaders that are going to help others. I think if we helped each other, if we added value to each other, we would have such a beautiful, world. Our environment would be so lovely.
Definitely.
So that's where I'm headed. You said 5 years, that's where I'm headed.
That's great, because kids, they're the 100%. Most important. Where you are today is probably because of your childhood.
Absolutely.
And if you can catch that early on, where we don't have to go through all that thing and reprogram our brain and so forth.
Yeah, if you can set your kids up from now.
Yeah, watch what you say to your kids.
Yeah, words have power.
Okay, I think that we'll conclude our interview. Really appreciate it. It was a real honour and pleasure for you to come along.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
No, thank you very
Thoroughly
much.
enjoyed this.
All links to Nancy's webpage, if you haven't seen any of my old videos, please do. There'll be links to the left, right, up and down. Have a look. I'm trying different things. If you really enjoyed that, please leave a comment below because I really feed off your comments and so forth. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you then.
See you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.